Week 1, Day 2, the structure of an ad agency. There are 8 major departments in an ad agency. All of these departments may not be in an ad agency depending on the size of it. Large ad agencies will include all 8 of these major departments plus more, and then smaller ones won't include all of these different departments. And so we're going to talk about each one of these in detail. And we're going to start with account services. And this will give you an idea of what you want to do in advertising. Although you're in the creative advertising track, it's other things you can be interested in. So with account services, the salary is about $58,000 to $99,000. And there's a big difference between the two because it depends on where the agency is located, how the size of the agency. So if it's an agency in New York compared to, let's say, Harrisonburg, you're going to get paid much more. And if it's a large agency, even if it's in the same city, you'll get paid more. So these are just the national averages. So the account services include account executives, account managers, and account directors. They maintain relationships and favorable contacts with current and potential advertising accounts. They target potential advertising clients and develop relationships in order to acquire new advertising accounts. This department is the link between many departments within the agency and the client who pays the bill. So if Coke is your client, then you're the one that either went out and got Coke as a client, or you're the one that maintains that relationship with Coke as a client. In the past, they were referred to as the suits. You might have heard that term, the suits and the creatives. Well, this would be the suits. A solid creative brief is one of the main duties of account services. Account managers are people-oriented and enjoy splitting their time between the client and the agency. They enjoy solving business challenges and building relationships. The best account managers have a thorough understanding of the business and advertising. So if that's something you're interested in, that would be the type of person you would probably be. The next department is the account planning or account research. Depending on what type of agency you're in is depending on what it's called. These host the researchers and the strategists. This department combines research with strategic thinking. It provides consumer insights, strategic direction, research. They do things like focus groups and assists in helping keep advertising campaigns on target and on brand. They research the facts needed for creative advertising and strategize the best method and messages to use to reach their target audience. So these people are generally people who enjoy research and understand how to turn data into an actionable plan for advertising. Strategists spend the majority of their time working alone and with other agency personnel. So if you're interested in research and strategy, account planning, account research is the department you would go in. And their average salary is $55,000 to $125,000. Media, average salary between $54,000 and $107,000. These are the planners and the buyers. The media department plans, coordinates, and purchases media space to run advertising that the agency has created. Recommends media mix and frequency that is in line with the budget and establishes media objectives. It is the function of the media buying department to secure the advertising time and or space required for a successful advertising campaign. This includes TV and radio time, outdoor, billboards, posters, guerrilla marketing, magazines, newspapers, internet banners, and anything else that an ad can be placed. This usually involves close collaboration with the creative department who initially came up with these ideals, as well as the client and the kind of exposure they may want. So the type of people that are media planners and buyers have a deep knowledge of like magazines and newspapers and TV shows, because they need to know where this ad needs to be placed, cable channels, internet sites, and they understand the audience for each of these different mediums. Media planners spend less time with the client and more time with agency personnel. The next is the interactive department. This salary ranges from $55,000 to $125,000. The interactive department designs and creates all the digital components of an advertising campaign. This would include websites, banner ads, and interactive applications. People who work in interactive are knowledgeable about the latest developments in digital technology and how they're being used in advertising. Training is specific to each medium. As a result of the new digital developments, an interactive designer education is ongoing. Interactive designers tend to spend the majority of their time working in an interactive studio environment. So when I say training specific, you might be, so think about the different curriculums we have here. We have digital video and cinema, where they learn how to create videos and things of that nature. And then you have interactive design, which is more website creation. So that's what I mean by it's specific to what you've learned and what you're expert in. And because things are always changing, they're steady being educated, like going to workshops and conferences, learning what's new and things of that nature. Production, $38,000 to $89,000. So think about the ideals are just ideals until they're made real. This is the job of the production department. During the creative process, the production department will be consulted with to talk about the feasibility of executing certain ideals. Once the ad is sold to the client, the creative and account teams will collaborate with the production department to get the campaign produced on a budget. This can be anything from getting original photography or illustrations produced, working with printers, hiring typographers and TV directors, or anyone else needed to get an ad campaign published. Now, really large advertising agencies will have a production company, but a lot of times agencies will get vendors to do these different things, like do the photography or the illustration, or a director to direct a commercial or something like that. The production department also works closely with the media department, who will supply the specs and deadlines for the jobs. So people who work in production are very detail oriented. They thrive on juggling a number of projects at one time and understand the importance of meeting production deadlines. Production people spend majority of their time working with other agency personnel and with outside vendors and have a minimum of client face time. Traffic, $35,000 to $55,000. Although this is one of the lowest paid positions, it's a very important position and it's a good entry-level position. The traffic regulates the flow of work. It is the job of the traffic to get each and every job through the various stages of account management, creative department, media buying, and production in a set time frame. So traffic keeps the agency's heart beating. They're making sure the research is done at a specific time, and then the creatives are on time. They have to meet this deadline so that it can go to production, so that the media can buy the spaces and things like that. So you get to learn about every department. So if you're a person, once you're finished with school or as an internship, you might want to do a traffic position to just get a feel of where you want to be and what you want to do inside an agency. So this is a good entry-level position because you learn how each department works. Finance and accounts, $37,000 to $91,000. This has to do with the money. So this can be an accountant. It doesn't have to be someone in advertising, but someone in advertising would be more beneficial because they understand how the business works. So like if you had, let's just say, you're getting a degree in creative advertising in the School of Media Arts and Design, and you want a minor in finance or accounts, this may be a position for you. At the end of the day, that's what an agency wants. It's what their clients want too, is money. At the center of all the money coming into and going out of the agency is the finance and accounts department. This department is responsible for handling payment of salaries and benefits, vendor costs, travel, day-to-day business costs, and everything else you expect from doing an ongoing business. The creative department, $64,000 to $152,000. So this is where you are in this curriculum, advertising creative. The other things you'll learn a little bit about as you go along, especially in this intro to advertising class, but the creative is what we're focusing on. This is the lifeblood of a business because the creative department is responsible for the product. And an ad agency is only as good as the ads that the creative department puts out. When you hear about a particular agency, it's because of the work they've done in the creative department. And you'll learn more about agencies as you do your blogs and do research on them. In many agencies, copywriters and art directors are paired up working as teams. Everyone within the creative services reports to the creative director. It is his or her role to steer the creative product, making sure that it is on brand, on brief, and on time. So like for me, for example, I started off as an art director, and then I moved to a creative director. Oftentimes, if it's a big agency, they'll have an associate creative director. So the creatives include the copywriters, the art directors, the production artists. They are the people responsible for writing and designing advertising campaigns. The best creatives can continually think of fresh approaches to advertise a product or service and are equally skilled at selling their ideals to clients. Creatives spend less time with clients, but the time they do spend with them is crucial to the agency's sales process. So this is what a creative department would look like in an agency. You have your creative group. You have your creative director, which is the position that I ended with before I went back to school to get my PhD. You have associate creative director. The CW is a copywriter. The copywriter is the person that writes all the copy, which is all the text in the ad. And you'll take a class on copywriting after this class. That will be your next class in the sequence. And then art direction. These are the artists. So like the graphic designers, the people that actually do the visual part of the ads. Sometimes you have a junior copywriter and a junior ad director. And then even below that, sometimes you'll have like a graphic designer. So this is what you'll learn about throughout the classes you take. So 242, what you're in now, is the intro, and then you'll go to the copywriting, and then the elements of advertising, which is 342. This would be part of ad director, and then your last one in this curriculum is 443, which is another class that I teach where you do creative campaigns. So this is the overall view of an ad agency. I hope this gives you a better explanation of what to look forward to in your career and what to look forward to in your academic careers here in SMAD in the Creative Advertising Department.